Okay, so you're wondering, how do I manage my classroom as a classroom teacher? Over 31 years of experience as a teacher, and I've come to know three things that help me manage my class. Now, it's never perfect, and year to year it changes, but here are the three things that I've come to learn to help me manage my classroom. Number one, you have to act like you've been there before. You have to walk in with confidence. Kids can smell fear. And if you are in this control, like everything has to be under my control, they will sense that and they will actually behave worse than if you come in there just confident, like, yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, I'll take care of that. They need to know that nothing is going to phase you. You have to come in there with an attitude, with some type of swag, like, I am in control. I'm going to be calm and easy because I've been here before. You cannot act like it's your very first day of your very first teaching assignment where you're like, oh, everything has to be perfect. Everybody, do you stop talking? Because they will again sense that and they will go, you know what? We're going to play this person like a fiddle. You have to come in there and just look like you have something up your sleeve, something in your bag of tricks, something they don't know that you know. And you have to keep them on their toes. You have to keep them guessing. And you just, again, have to smile and go, not today and not on my watch. I will take care of this with a lot of confidence. And the second way to help you with your classroom management is you have to set the expectations. You can't sit there and just expect the students to know exactly what you want. And you have to do the work early in the beginning of the year. In fact, I usually tell my colleagues, man, the first month feels like 3 months because you're doing so much to hopefully let the rest of the year take care of itself. And, don't get me wrong, you're going to have to definitely update and check back in with your students along, the whole rest of the year. But you have to set those expectations early in the year and let them know this is what I want. A lot of times students will tell me, I just didn't know. I just didn't know what to do next. And so a lot of times the classroom mismanagement is the plan is not set in place, where a student finishes one thing and goes, well, I was goofing around because I didn't know what to do next. And so the expectation happens the moment they walk through your door, like, this is what I need you to do as soon as you come in. This is what I need you to do when you're getting ready for lunch. You have to set those expectations so the students know exactly what you need. Now, obviously, even if you set those expectations, they'll try to cross lines, they'll try to test you, but at least they know and can't use the excuse, well, I didn't know this. And so the expectation is set early in the year, and it's definitely reinforced, and you can't just let those things slide like, oh, well, whatever. They need to know those expectations are firm and that you're going to back them up all the way through the year. The number three thing that I would say is definitely going to help with your classroom management is to make sure you're consistent with the follow through on what you expect. You can't set down all these expectations and go, yeah, well, I'm a little wishy-washy on this. I will, reinforce this one. I won't reinforce these other three. Your students are going to test you. They're going to see what you're firm about and what you're wishy-washy on, and you need to be firm on everything. So if something doesn't quite, it's not quite that important to you, don't even make that an expectation. So you're only going to set aside the ones that you're really firm on, like, I need you to come into the class and be this certain way, and definitely reinforce that all the way through the year. If you don't necessarily care about something, then don't make that an expectation. The students are going to pick up on this real easily, like, hey, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, they really want us to make sure we do this, as opposed to, well, they say we could do this, or we could do this, or, they don't even care at all. So you just have to be very firm on what your expectations are. And once you do, you have to back up what you say. If you're going to set down some consequences, you have to stick firm to that. You know, if you're going to lose so much of your recess, if you're going to have, if you're in middle school, so much of after, school or during lunch detention, you have to be firm on that and follow your steps. If you need to make phone calls home, you need to say, well, that's what I told you was, and, a consequence of breaking these guidelines or expectations. Have to be firm, because again, kids will test. They will say, hey, I wonder if they really will call home. I wonder if they really will keep me after class. And once they know that you're serious, once they know that, hey, this is firm, then they will know what the expectation is. But again, if it's in and out, sometimes yes, sometimes no, then they're going to say, hey, this person's not for real. This person's not going to have a backbone. Let's do whatever we want.